Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from group 4 and in this video we are going to present our discussion about popular literature and the example of popular literature. I am Astertania Nafiri Azzahra Korompis, and the other members of this group there is Hesti Ispriyanti and also Tasya, Dini, Syahrani. And here's the table of contents of our presentation. There's definition of popular literature, then characteristic of popular literature, and then there's the first example of popular literature from our group, and also the synopsis and the issue. Then there's the second example of popular literature from our group, and also the synopsis and the issue. And then there's the last examples of popular literature from our group, and also the synopsis and the issue. Okay, first there's definition of popular literature. Popular literature is a literary work that is enjoyed by a wide audience in general from various circles, genders, and ages. Popular literature can also be seen by the general commercial success. And here's the example of popular literature from our group. There is 20th Century Boys, which is a graphic novel. Then The Boss Baby, which is an animation film. And the last is Aquaman, which is an American superhero film. And next there is the characteristic of popular literature. There are some characteristics of popular literature intended for the masses and shaped by their demands. Designed primarily to entertain. Third, not identified as a high degree of formal beauty or refinement. Fourth, spread of literacy and technological development resulted in its growth. And last, measured by sales, frequent imitation, adaptation to other cultural form, and general commercial success. And here is the first example of popular literature from our group. The title is 20th Century Boys. 20th Century Boys is a science fiction manga by Urasawa Naoki, which first released in 2009 in North America. This graphic novel is popular because 20th Century Boys was the third top-selling manga series of 2008 and the 9th top-selling of 2009. The series has also won numerous awards, including the 2001 Kodansha Manga Award in the general category and an excellent prize at the 2002 Japan Media Art Festival, the 2003 Sogakukan Manga Award in the general category, and the first ever Angoulême International Comics Festival prize for a series in 2004. It also won the grand prize at the 37th Japan Cartoonist Association Award and the 7th award in the comic category at the 46th Japan Science Fiction Convention, both in 2008. The series won the 2011 Eisner Award for Best U.S. Edition of International Material in the Asia category for Viz Media English releases, and won the same award again in 2013. Fans in the United Kingdom voted its favorite new manga at the 2012 Eagle Awards, and 20th Century Boys was nominated twice, 2010 and 2013, for the Harvey Award in the Best American Edition of Foreign Material category, and 3 years in a row, 2010 until 2012, for the Eisner Award for Best Continuing Series. This graphic novel itself tells the story of Kenji, who is involved with a mysterious organization that is also led by a person who calls himself as a friend. The organization is then suspected by Kenji as the mastermind behind the disaster and mysterious event that occur in Japan. What makes Kenji feel strange is that all these events are the realization of his dream and fantasy as a child. In his childhood, Kenji and his friend made a fantasy about the future, about the occurrence of a giant monster attack that destroyed Tokyo on New Year's Eve 2000, and accompanied by a virus attack in various other major cities of the world. As an adult, Kenji must struggle to reunite his childhood friends to find out who the friends are using their childhood fantasies. And here's the issue in this graphic novel. 20th Century Boys is a science fiction manga that raises the issue of postmodernism. This can be seen from the storyline that leads to the concept of postmodernism, where the creation of images that are considered real without the origin of reality, which is then called hyperreality. And here is the example of the issue in the graphic novel, and it's also the example of the issue, and the next slide will be explained by Tasya, Dini, Syahrani.
And the next example is the Baby Boss movie. Baby Boss movie premiered at the Miami International Film Festival on March 12 in 2017 and was released in the United States on March 31. The film received mixed review from critics upon its release, who praised the animation and sound performance but criticized the plot and humor. It grossed 5,000 million worldwide against and 125 million budget. The film received Best Animation Feature nomination at the Academy Awards, Annie Awards, and Golden Globes, losing all three awards to Coco. And the synopsis of the movie is about the story began with Tim Templeton, a 7-year-old boy who feels his life is perfect. And as only child, Tim is very loved by his parents. Unfortunately, Tim's happiness did not last long because of the arrival of new member, a very adorable baby boy named Theodore aka Boss Baby. Theodore or Boss Baby. The disaster began to come. Tim, who is used to being pampered by his parents, is forced to share his love with Baby Boss. The presence of Baby Boss also makes Tim's day turns 113 degree. The issue in this film, Baby Boss, is about dysfunction family because his first child is still minor and he is given a heavy task by his parents to take care of his brother. As a result, the house is because a mess. And this problem is also often occur in the real life, where brother and sister sharing do not get along because of the unfair love and their parents. And the next example will be
for the last popular literature, I will present about the Aquaman movie. Aquaman is a 2018 American superhero. The movie was directed by James Wan from a screenplay by David Leslie, Johnson McGoldrick, and Will Bill. It stars Jason Momoa as Arthur Curry, Aquaman, who sets out to lead the underwater kingdom of Atlantis and stop his half-brother, King Orm, from uniting the 7 underwater kingdoms to destroy the surface world. For the issue, this movie presents the environmental issue through the conflict between human and nature in the middle of the dispute for the throne as the Ocean Master. This movie is very interesting to study using eco-critical theory issue by Glovelty. As Glovelty stated in a book written by Garrett entitled Eco-Criticism, that eco-criticism is a science that studies the relationship between literary works and the environment, which makes the state of the earth an approach in its study. This movie also describes the behavior of humans who often do damage to nature. This situation also supports the reasons for the disharmony of the relationship between humans and nature. This statement is supported by the words spoken by Orm to Arthur about the characteristic of the surface people who often destroy nature. especially the ocean. Based on Arthur and Orm's conversation in the minutes 51.50 listed slide on the PowerPoint, it is clear that humans as creatures that live on the surface often do damage to nature. The damage caused is sometimes only for the good of humans without seeing the negative effects from the environmental side. In the conversation, humans are blamed for various forms of pollution that occur in this world, especially for what happens in the oceans. Humans often pollute the oceans with their garbage. Technology created by humans also often worsens the environmental condition. Humans, for their greed, are also responsible for the exploitation of marine products. Therefore, Arthur, as someone who has human blood in the incident, is blamed for the various damage that occurred. Moreover, the presence of Arthur, who wants to seize the throne as Ocean Master or ruler of the oceans to unite the ocean world with the land, is also considered inappropriate because it is feared that Arthur's alignment with humans will worsen the situation in the ocean. That's all from us. We are sorry if there's any mistakes. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.